Very good morning. Welcome back to Valley Focus. I'm Valerie Moore with a couple of special guests in our studio today that are really interested in doing some charitable work for our community, but they're doing it in a very wonderful way. So we say hello to W. Reith, Executive Chef at the Not Your Typical Deli, and Cordell Sherwood, front of the house manager for this lovely organization, Two and Great Establishment. Tell me about your restaurant, first of all, W.
Well, we opened up in July 2016 with a mission to employ adults with developmental disabilities. Unfortunately, there is a 90% unemployment rate for those with developmental disabilities in the state of Arizona. My business partners and myself decided that there needs to be something done about that. So we took it a step further and actually opened up a restaurant that employs adults with developmental disabilities. Our restaurant is run by about 70% people on the autism spectrum. It's an integrated work environment, though, which is important because they need to be trained to learn how to survive in typical society, for lack of better words.
In social situations.
That's correct. And having an integrated work environment is very crucial for these guys to be able to adapt into society easier. It's a civil rights movement for these guys to be treated right and equal in the workforce. And we're standing up very tall and we're standing up very proud and very loud to break the stigma of autism or developmental disabilities in the public eye and to show them that a restaurant can be run by anybody who has that work ethic and that pride and that passion and desire to want to better their lives.
Well, it's W. Reith, Executive Chef at Not Your Typical Deli. I've got to explain to our listeners, first off, that W is your actual first name.
Truly. On my birth certificate.
That's interesting. How did your parents come up with that?
It's such a boring story.
Well, it's interesting how it turned out.
It is. My dad thought it sounded classy, but...
Oh, I see. He wanted to have an initial.
If you guys could see me, you'd know I'd proved him wrong.
You're a wonderful guy with a great big heart, and we thank you for being here today.
Ma'am.
Again, it's W. Reith, Executive Chef of Not Your Typical Deli, who is employing adults with some developmental disabilities. Well, all of us have our flaws.
Absolutely. That's why we're pushing a new campaign that we're launching this month. It's called Nobody's Typical. We believe that labels hurt people, and we want to show the world that really nobody's typical. I always tell every interview I get, look, bring me somebody who's typical. I'll buy you a sandwich. I'd love to hear about it because there's nobody who's typical out there. We all share this earth together. We're all human beings. Some of us learn different than others, and that's really the difference between atypical or neurotypical people.
Well, we're all flawed in some way. Unfortunately, some of our flaws are more socially acceptable than others. And so you're standing up for people that may have some social issues going on, but you're helping them, first of all, to be recognized as valid and worthwhile employees.
That's correct.
And business people. And also, then they're also learning how to socialize and immerse themselves into a culture that might be a little bit, it could be a little bit scary.
It's scary for everybody.
Yeah.
Given the right platform, you'd be surprised what how successful they can make themselves if the platform and the right support is given to them. These guys run the restaurant. We have been very successful, and we have really great food. We have a very great restaurant. Cordell runs the front of the house like he's been doing it all his life. He's a natural. He helped build Not Your Typical Deli and what it is today.
We want to talk to Cordell now. This is Cordell Sherwood, front of the house manager for Not Your Typical Deli, this wonderful organization and establishment that is employing people with developmental disabilities. You have autism.
Yes.
I would never know it looking at you. It's not something that anyone can really spot. And yet for you, it's been a painful experience, I would assume.
It has been, definitely. I will say, and I will always say this if you ever see me, is that I was a lot worse in my past than I am now. Like, really, the tipping point was definitely high school. Before high school, I was almost a completely different person. My meltdowns were absolutely very constant, very much without warning most of the time. My social skills were little to none, almost, and I was just way different in the past than I am now, basically. That's about it.
I'm happy to see you. You're a successful, good-looking, confident young man. And, what you've gone through inside, I'm sorry about, but I'm happy now that you are, moving through this and every day's a little better and that you've got this great job at the Not Your Typical Deli. Mm-hmm. What kind of food do you serve there, and where's the establishment?
Oh, the establishment is located in Gilbert. We're off of Gilbert and Warner, our cross streets. Basically, we're just a full-service deli. We make all of our food right there in-house, roast our own pastrami, corned beef, roast beef. Everything's done from scratch right there, the way it should be done. And got some great pastrami sandwiches, meatball subs. Our head chef uses his grandfather's meatball recipe, grandmother's marinara recipe. everything on the menu has either a history or it's just all freshly done right there in house. It's amazing stuff. Just sandwiches, hot dogs, sausages, the likes.
So you can eat right there, take it out.
Yeah, just eat inside. People do takeout a lot. Yeah.
I want to get back to you, W, because I want just a few more details about this restaurant. I'm getting hungry, and I want you to tell me exactly, again, where it is, the hours, and how people can find you. Maybe give us a phone number, too, for that matter.
We're at 1166 South Gilbert Road, Suite 101, right next to the Regal Cinemas in Gilbert Town Square, just south of Warner on Gilbert Road. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're open till 11 till 5 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, we're open 11 till 9 p.m. for dinner. Right next to the Regal Cinemas, it's a perfect landmark. So if you want to have a dinner and a show, come see us, go see a good movie. The phone number is 480-794-1116.
Tell me exactly which freeway that's off of for those of us who are more in the North
it's
Phoenix area.
It's actually between the 60 and the 202, Santan 202.
And it's on, again, what road?
Gilbert Road.
Okay, it's on Gilbert Road. And your website?
nytdeli.com.
nytdeli.com. And your phone number one more time?
480-794-1116.
Well, we're speaking today with W. Reith, executive chef of Not Your Typical Deli, who took it into his heart to form this wonderful establishment that employs adults with developmental disabilities and primarily autism, I think we had spoken about.
Primarily, that's...
And this is Autism Awareness Month, is it not?
True, it is.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, like I said before, we are pushing this new movement called Nobody's Typical Movement. We have local partners. Gilbert, the town of Gilbert is an amazing place. The small business community and the town itself is actually getting together with us to support this new awareness campaign. It's called Nobody's Typical. We're going to have a video going to be launched towards the end of the month to just show what we need to do and what we need to stand up for as far as spreading awareness in a different way. What we've seen out there is the system is failing. A lot of these kids like Cordell are falling through the cracks by the handful. And there's no support, there's no system, there's no services put in place for the transition out of high school to adulthood. The suicide rate is extremely high for these guys. There's no jobs for them. They're not getting any support from their government services or whatever. And we want to change it. We are ready to change. We are ready to make people accountable for changing these guys, right? And we're stirring the pot, and we may make people upset by what we have to say, but the proof is in the pudding, and we opened up a place and we proved.
Well, the best way to do something like this is a grassroots effort with community support,
Correct.
And that's what you're doing. There's no better way to go out and to support a platform like this than by eating at a great
All you got to do is
deli.
buy a sandwich.
Yeah.
Also, too, we are partners with a nonprofit, a 501c3 called Square One. Their initiative is job creation for those with disabilities. You can donate through square1az.com as well if you want to help our mission grow. We are planning on launching a 12-week program, an employment program to train others with developmental disabilities and place them in jobs throughout the community with an ongoing mentorship program. We're also working close together with Hope Group, which is another big company in Arizona that works with special needs.
Well, again, it's W. Reith, executive chef of Not Your Typical Deli. He took it into his heart again to form an establishment out in Gilbert in which he employs adults with developmental disabilities. You got to box this up in here. Open up. I want to tell our listeners here today what you brought me.
Delish.com named us best chocolate chip cookie in Arizona.
Oh my gosh. You wouldn't believe the size of these chocolate chip cookies.
Wait till you taste them.
Oh my goodness. Well, I got to tell my Valley Focus listeners out there, if you want a beautiful, huge, and delicious looking, which I'm sure I'm going to prove in a moment is wonderful as it looks, chocolate chip cookie or any other great homemade deli item, it's the Not Your Typical Deli. And your website again, W.
nytdeli.com. Also, if you mind me saying one more thing?
Go ahead.
We're kind of a co-op. We have an amazing bakery, a scratch bakery inside the deli as well. One More Bite Bakery. Two ladies, Jessica and Vicky, they're mother and daughter. They opened up the bakery inside the deli, and they have fresh pies, cakes, cookies, everything from scratch. Also, we roast coffee beans in the deli as well with a partnership from Bergie's Coffee Roast House in Gilbert as well.
Wow. You really are taking on a lot there to support community efforts.
It's a cool place. It's co-op. You know what? Us small businesses got to work together. Independent business owners need to work together. And, we have to support each other's products. there's not a competition. It's a grassroots effort to push it to a bigger scale.
It's a community.
Yeah, we support each other.
Well, as I said, there's nothing better than to eat for charity. Eat and drinking for charity, I can always do that. Or if you want to donate again, what is that other website to donate on?
It's square1nonprofit.org.
Square1nonprofit.org if you want to check out the website to donate. nytdeli.com if you want to check out the website to check out the menu. Can they order online?
No, we don't do online ordering.
Okay.
We're pretty old school. We like to see people's faces and hear people's voices.
But they can call in.
Yes, absolutely.
And they can check out some of the delicious items online. Yep. Oh my gosh. NYT meatball, homemade meatballs, marinara, provolone, and pesto served on an Italian roll. Well, you got me right there, but you've also got Reuben Italian beef, tuna melt, pressed Italian pork, a lot of specialty sandwiches, a lot of goodies there, a special bread, special salads, and these fabulous chocolate chip cookies that I'm looking at. Oh my gosh, can't wait to dig into them. So thank you again, and thank you for taking this into your heart. Yeah. We so value a group like you on Valley Focus because you are a grassroots effort. You've taken into your own heart to make a change and make a difference, and we thank you so much for that, for caring. And looking here at Cordell Sherwood, as I said, good-looking young guy. He's got his confidence up. He's getting his social skills going. He's getting his business skills developed. And, thank you for this, W. This is a wonderful mission and ministry that you've taken into your heart.
You know what? These guys built it. I'm just there to support them.
Well, thank you very much again.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, nytdeli.com.
That's correct.
We're so glad you came. And thanks so much.
Pleasure.
God bless and come back again.
God bless.